Oh my gosh. Dude, look at me. Anyways, I bet you guys caught that State of the Union address yesterday by our glorious Donald J. Trump, President 47. It was the longest one in history. Who would have thought? The prediction markets thought. They knew. That man loves to ramble. So there was a lot of things covered, obviously. And the thing is, a lot of people may have not have paid attention, or they did, and they just kind of glossed over some things. But you need to pay attention. You need to understand what he said and what the implications of that are. Right. So let's start with it. He opened it up by gloating, saying we're winning so fucking much. Winning at what, bro? Who is winning? Not us. Maybe you, technically, right? But and then he was doing a lot of salutations, whatever that military shit is, like honoring people that are in the military. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? I think he's buttering up military officials, the branch, because there's a lot of soldiers and then, personnel in military that are kind of against Trump. So if he butters them up a little bit, makes them feel like they have something they're working towards, he has more cooperation. Second thing, he brought up Iran, and I don't know if you guys were watching the markets yesterday, but it was a fucking fat candle down immediately as soon as he started talking about Iran. I think the markets know something's up, and right now it's super uncertain, super uncertain. Reason why is because every time something comes out of his mouth about the Middle East, it seems like we're getting the complete opposite than what's happening, right? Pay attention to the actions, not the words. So we have more than half of our military, give or take, right, overseas, currently in the Middle East, the Strait of Hormuz, all of those like are basically packed with our stuff. Why is that? It could be a posturing, right? It could be like, make this deal or this is what's going to happen. However, it's a lot of money to move those things, right? So you got to pay attention to where the money goes. Do I think that they waste all the money just for a big dick flex? Possibly. This administration. However, I do not believe that it's not going to be for nothing. And our big boy daddy Israel is definitely going to say, nah, we don't like the deal. America has to make a better deal than they did last time, because there's no point in getting the same deal, if not worse, after you bombed them already, right? So it's like, we mean business. We are getting our way regardless of what you like it or not. And he's tiptoeing around the subject. I think why he's tiptoeing around the subject, because he's a super sneaky motherfucker. He won't tell us when we do it. They'll just do it. Like Operation Midnight Hammerhead ass. But other than Iran, we are posturing. We're posturing not only in the Middle East, but to other countries. The Supreme Court's, obviously, he talked about that. Who cares at this point, right? What is the Supreme Court to Donald J. Trump? What does the Supreme Court mean anyways? Like, who cares about them? They're just a bunch of old people with some hammers. That's why the positioning of all these new global tariffs, how are they going to be implemented and enforced? Why do you think he's big dicking Iran right now? A lot of people called him a dictator in the past. Do I believe he's a dictator? I don't think he's got the balls to be a dictator, high key. But I do believe he is following a very strict guideline, a playbook, if you will, of how to essentially get a deal. But the thing is, I don't think he's thought about if that deal doesn't go through. I think he's going to have to go balls to the wall. So in the next 2 to 3 months, pay very close attention. Why? Because there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Not only opportunities for financial, but like opportunities for, even networking and stuff like that. Reason why is because everybody's scared, everybody's uncertain, everybody doesn't know what's going on, right? And the minute something that they're waiting on what side it happens. So the minute it starts to shift downside, there's going to be fear. Why is there going to be fear? Because we already feel like this is a bubble. We're already currently in a bubble. And I'm talking about the markets. Again, I think NVIDIA is reporting earnings. And if we know about NVIDIA, the largest company in the world, they're literally holding up the U.S., not even the U.S., the global economy. Anything that they do basically reverberates through the entire industry. So if they're not more than perfect, if they're not like literally 12 out of 10, things don't get very kind, honestly. And to be honest, even if they do get kind, I don't think it could be sustained. So, with that being said, I do believe that positioning in terms of financial in the next 3 to 4 months is going to be very big. Another thing, if you are still working a job and you do not have any skill sets or assets set aside, it's time to start grinding. You have maybe a year. If you're paying attention to any of this open AI, well, not even like AI, just coding, like the vibe coding, Claude, and now all these AI agents, bro, they're taking everything one by one. And it's not even close. And people are, it's right under their nose and it's just happening. Think about the last time you saw an assistant, like an interviewer, not in person, but online. All of them are AI, every single one. So if you're still working for an employer and you don't have anything onto the side, it's time to start working.